Hi everyone, this is Suruchi Hirawat from Mumbai. I wanted to talk about failure. What does the word failure means to you? So, failure, as per me, a lot of people have different definition of failure. While we were growing up, if teachers made us feel like we are a failure if we didn't have certain marks, things like that. From a parent's eye, if we didn't fulfill what they expected, the expectation they had from us, we were a failure in their eye. And that's so. I was just thinking about how much there's a charge to the word failure. Like we keep talking about you will fail in this, you're a failure, you're not willing to deliver, or if you don't make an X amount of money, you are a failure. So, how do you determine what is failure for you? Or because what may be failure for you, it may not be a failure for me. Our perspective about the word failure may differ. So, but how much we buy other people's point of view about what a failure is and what a failure is not, and how much do we look our success, the so-called success, if I say, because if there's a failure, the opposite of failure is success. So, how much do we look upon what success is for us based on people's point of view? Am I success as per this reality? Am I making certain amount of money as per this reality? Then I'm a success. But am I really a failure or am I really successful based on those parameters? So, what are your parameters on which you decide that you are a failure or you are successful? So, it's very interesting because we've been labeled since childhood. The moment you go to school, the moment you do your activities or you pass out from college, if you don't get admission in a good college. So it's kind of how we keep saying, oh my God, he was such a good student, but what a waste of life, what a failure he is. He didn't land up doing things. But is it really a failure? Or is it just the labels that people keep putting on based on their definition of what failure is for them? So if we if you are in that boat who is judging yourself, will I fail, will I do it properly or not, and how many times just with the fear of the word failure or the fear of failing on certain things we don't even give an attempt. But my question is, can we really fail in something? I doubt, because if we fail to do certain things, in my eye it's not a failure, it's a learning. I figured it out, it's a learning curve. Oh, I didn't succeed, okay, maybe what was required there. So instead of going with the wrongness of us with that label, with that energy attached to the word failure, if we could just ask questions around, okay, they didn't go as planned, so what's right about that? And if we can ask, did I really wanted to create that? Because most of the time I feel that we don't succeed in certain things or somewhere because we truly don't desire to do that. We really don't desire to create that. It's expected out of us. It's projected at us. Like, oh, your parents desire to do certain things, they expect that out of you. And then when you go into it, and just because you didn't desire to create, you didn't give your 100%, and that doesn't show up the way everybody's expecting out it to be. And then you're labeled as a failure. So, how much the word failure has a charge or the scar on our soul, which doesn't allow us to just go with the flow of what you know you would desire, even if it's not a perfect recipe. How much we wait to create a perfect recipe, a perfect thing to go out in the world, because otherwise I'll be termed a failure. And what failure is not a wrongness? Are you willing to give yourself the permission to fail? How much that takes that pressure off the shoulder, because every time we are scrutiny, we are in judgment. Are we doing it right? Are we doing it wrong? Am I going to fail at it? Oh, what will people think about it? Because I think we are not so scared of failing, we are more scared about what will people think about it if I don't succeed. But does it really matter? Because if somebody has to judge you, they will judge you irrespective of what you do or what you don't. Because everybody's expectation out of you is very different. If you fulfill the expectation on today, you're great. Tomorrow, if you don't, you're now good in their eye. So, how much of your creation are you unwilling to share with the world because you're scared that you might not be able to deliver what is expected out of you. And that unwillingness to show up with what you know. And that's the time we are trying to copy most of the time, is what people have already done. But then when we are trying to be like someone else and handle the situation by being someone else, is that the time it really doesn't go so well. We are not even happy. What if you can give yourself permission and ask, if I'm the only one out here and nobody knows how to deal with this, if there's no reference point of how I can create this work or do this work, what would I choose to be here? What would I choose to do here? Because if there's no reference point, no benchmark, can we ever fail? But where is this benchmark coming from? Hi Pradeep, where is this benchmark coming from? It's just past, because somebody has decided this is how it is going to be, this is how it should be, and we are trying to fit into that box. What if we can never fit into the box? Because if everybody would have fit into the box, no invention would have occurred. So whose lies, what lies, and how many lies with the word failure have we bought in, which doesn't allow us to actually succeed for being who we truly be, for creating what we truly know, what we can create and generate in this reality with total ease. And everything which doesn't allow you to have that as your reality, will you let go of it? It's very it's hilarious because we keep fighting, we keep judging, but the idea is, are we? And that's what we teach our kids also. Hey, don't fail. You need to perfect it. You have to master it. So what are we doing? Why failing is not allowed? Why don't we give them the permission? You know what? Just go out, do your best. If you fail, it's okay. The moment when somebody says, yes, it's okay if you fail, how much of a pressure is offload? Why? Because I'm not stressed, I'm not judging myself, I'm at peace. And then the ideas flow. If you ask any artist, any creative person, it's like when they are taking the pressure off, that's the time the juices out of the box creation ideas come into play. But most of the time we are trying to figure it out how somebody has done it, and that's the way I will do it. But it's a choice. So what have you defined failure as? Like for me, failure is learning, experience. It shows me, and it also makes me present. Okay, fine, I didn't get what I was desiring at. So truth, I was trying to do it to prove something to someone. Did I really desire to do that? Or if I really desired and didn't get success, so what was the information lacking that I was not aware of? Or what can I add in that particular project or an idea or whatever it is, wherever I'm failing? What can I add which will create a different result? So when we keep asking this question, and rather than jumping that, oh my god, I failed, I failed, I failed, I failed, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. So what does it leaves behind? It leaves behind a very sour taste. It's like something where I'm I'm ashamed for what I did. What if you? It's not a matter of being ashamed, or if it's nothing, it's just like a bad choice. Okay, it didn't work. What next? This idea didn't work. What next? So many entrepreneurs, if you see, or the business that they see, they never gave up on themselves. The knowing that they have, the trust they had on themselves. Even people label them a failure. But failure is nothing but a label that people give. And I think we all like to label people for their actions and things. So if you have put yourself or given yourself the label of failure, what about removing that failure? You can just say, all the labels I put on myself as a failure, I destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. This right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine short boys is an access clearing statement. If you would like to know more about this clearing statement, you can actually Google the clearing statement by Access. There's a detail. But when I say a clearing, when you're saying all the labels I put on myself, the moment you say that, an energy pops up. And this clearing statement helps you to clear that energy which you have logged into your molecular, physical, and energetic level of your being. Because we lock it into our body. It let it go from the system from the time it was logged in. So it's a beautiful way if you think that you've been doing it. And how many times we put these labels to our kids? What if you can say all the labels I put on my kids, I destroy and create it all? What if we don't have to function from any label of failure or success? Because either way, success definition also differ from people to people. For some people, if you like, according to Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, if you are able to contribute to one person's life, you are successful. So as per that, I think we all are successful. And for certain, it will be like, unless you have all your targets, whatever your goals and targets are, and if you achieve that, you are successful. For somewhere I read the quotation where some beautifully said, it's like, if you enjoy all your failures and keep choosing to create greater, you are successful. So it's like, it's a perspective which kind of differs. So why I thought of doing this Facebook Live on failure and success is like, I remember being stuck because I was not so good in studies and I've been told not good enough, and because, sorry, not really interested in studies when I was growing up. There were other more likable interests. But did it really made me a failure? No. But my marks did show that I'm a failure because it was not good enough. So, how much of that scar that we keep carrying, so that when we have to do something, we are really in wonder that whether I'll be able to deliver it or will I be a failure again? What if we take this card, the label, I, Anita, from our mind, from the source from where it's coming? How much freedom will it give us? Won't it allow us to explore so many ideas that we have, so many things where we desire to do, or so many things we would like to speak or create, but just the fear that I don't want people to see that I didn't do it properly or I'm a failure, that holds us back. What if you don't have to hold yourself back ever again? That's the whole thing. It is. What stops you? And if there's any question that people you would like me to answer about the word failure and success, please type in, because we are on Facebook Live. I can only see your comments. Hi Rashi. So it just keeps pinning you. Like, I remember my growing up days where it was pinning. Like, I wanted to win. I wanted to win at any cost. That was my driving force. And yes, I did succeed. I succeeded in lots of areas in my life. But it just keeps making you judge all the time. Are you doing the right thing? Is it a right move? Are you being at the right place? Are you talking to people right? So, which now I realize was not really a freedom. What price did I have to pay? A price of self-judgment all the time. Really worth it? Maybe not. Hi Chavi. So that's the whole thing. So what is your definition of failure? What does failure means to you? What have you defined failure as? And when you get to it and see, are you judging yourself? Are you allowing yourself to be you all the time, irrespective of how people see you? Are you willing to show your creativity no matter? See, there are always people who will appreciate and will judge, irrespective. So, are you still willing? And are you willing to go at whatever it is? Because if I failed, I using the word failed, yes, if I failed my expectation of how I expected something to show up, but at least it's a learning. Are you willing to take it as a learning, or are you going to stick it as another failure in life and then choose not to create or choose anything else in life? So, my question is, all your definitions of failure you have, can you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine short. All your judgments of failure that people have implanted in your universe, can you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine short. What does the word failure brings up for you? Everything that is. Will you now revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, destroy, and uncreate at all times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine shots was in them. Everywhere you unwilling to give yourself the permission to fail, will you give it now? And everything which doesn't allow you to have that as your reality, will you now revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, destroy, and uncreate at all times a gazillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine shots, birds and yams. And how much fun can you have failing? Yeah, it's really fun. Okay, I am happy to fail. How much it takes the pressure off, and when you actually start seeing things as how you would like to see, and if there's no reference point of what is failure, or what is success, what would you really choose and create now as your reality? Would you be doing the same thing that you're doing, or would you experiment doing something different, or the same thing in a different way? Ask yourself these questions rather than jumping into the bandwagon of people's definition of failure and success. What does success means to me? Ask yourself this. What is your definition of success? Because everywhere you are seeing your success based on other people's definition, will you let go of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, button pop, all nine shots, resume. So it really boils down. Are you people, whether it's relationship, whether it's money, whether it's life, whether it's business, different areas, depending upon what age we are. If I'm a teenager, I may call myself a failure. I don't have a girlfriend or I don't have a boyfriend. Is it really a failure? It's a perspective that people portray. Oh, at this age you don't have. You're a loser man. Such a failure man. So how much these small things we keep on piling into a subconsciousness and putting it behind the burner, which starts building those molecules, solidifying those molecules of judgment in our body, and that starts shaping up the personality that we are today, the way we look at the things that we do. Are we obsessed in proving ourselves, or are we in allowance of our choices? So these are the things I would really suggest. That sit down with yourself, be honest with yourself, and just ask, what does failure means to me? Do I think I'm a failure? Yes, no, whatever it is. And you can actually, whatever answer come, you can use this clearing statement, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine short version, yeah. Or you can simply use pock and pod, the short form of the whole clearing statement. What will it does? What will it do? Sorry, doesn't. What will it do? It will help you to release all the energies came up the moment you asked a question. It will wipe it off. So it's kind of keep on cleansing from your molecular, physical, and energetic level. It keeps on cleaning, so that we don't have any point of view left when we talk about this word. There's no charge, and the benefit is you're going to show up in the world as you. You're willing to experiment, do whatever it takes, and you're going like I. Whenever I do, I say I'm willing to fail here, and just by saying that, just by surrendering to the word failure, I see that I'm having lots of fun because I'm being me. And it's okay if people are going to judge me, but at least I'm going to enjoy doing what I'm doing. I'm enjoying creating what I'm creating. So if happiness does count, then give yourself the freedom from the definition of failure or success you have, which is ruling your life right now, which is not giving you the permission to show up as you, because we are trying to be someone else who's perfected their journey. We're trying to mimic their life. If we had to mimic their life, my question is, why wouldn't I be born like them? Why will I be born as me? Because I have a different journey and I have a different way of creating it. Why will you not create what you desire to create your way? I leave it to you with this question and with this thought. Bye.